Now, more and more students are coming out and taking the burden and the pressure of examinations in our country. Now, NEET examination has been one of the talking points in our country where students, especially in Tamil Nadu, have been taking their lives. Now, third student from Vellore reportedly took her life because of the burden of NEET examinations. Now, remember that the DMK government in the Tamil Nadu Assembly has already passed a resolution where they are now pushing for a complete exemption from NEET examination. Now, how much of it is going to be possible legally, whether there are going to be other state governments who are going to be taking precedent, especially because of the national education policy, the revamped education policy already in place by the central government. And to discuss this further, let me welcome our guests who are joining us tonight. We have P. Wilson, DMK Member of the Parliament from Rajya Sabha. We have Advocate Anubha Srivastava Sahai, who is the President of India White Parents Association. We have Suman C. Raman, political analyst, and Professor Chandra Bhushan Sharma, former chairman NIOS. We also have Dr. Geeta Bhatt, who is an academician and also a political analyst. Mr. P. Wilson, if I could come to you first. Now, even as the government has announced, the state government of Tamil Nadu has announced that they are seeking a complete exemption from NEET, but with your legal experts or the advisors to the state government, how possible is it? Because for a change, you also have some sort of backing from other opposition parties in the state as well.
Yeah, so far as this issue is concerned, all the political parties except BJP are on the same pages.
Correct.
So far as the legal position is concerned, we have a constitutional wonderful document with us, which permits, to the states to have its own law if it is going to conflict with the union laws. That is what called as Article 254, where the repugnancy is saved. Whenever there is a law made by the parliament, and that law as a force in the state, and if the state brings a law which conflicts with the central made law, then there is a provision called as Article 254 by which the repugnancy is cured by way of sending the bill reserving it for the assent of the President of India. And once the President gives his assent, then the act will come into force, and that act will have its force in that particular state. So that is how our constitution has given this wonderful document. And I think even in one of the debate, I said that we have already have one act. You would remember this Cruelty to Animals Act about Jallikattu in Tamil Nadu. So that's how it saves the state laws.
All right. Now, with Tamil Nadu being the first state to come out and say that they want a complete exemption, how possible do you think that is, even as a resolution has been cleared on the floor of the House in the Tamil Nadu Assembly? Do you see a possibility of it? Because so far, we haven't seen any state coming out and talking about this. In fact, with the new and the revamped national education policy also in place, do you think that there are alternatives for Tamil Nadu as a state government?
So that is what I said. The Constitution provides. The Constitution permits such type of a different law for a state to have.
Correct.
When the state is not happy with the central-made laws, and the state has got power, as I said, this is a concurrent subject. This is not a union subject. This is a concurrent subject where the power to make laws is also available with the state. And two more important decisions which is governing the field is rendered by the constitutional bench of Supreme Court, which says insofar as the admission is concerned, only the state has got power, to do the admissions. So under the list 3, entry 25. And these NEET and other things are relating to admission to the medical and dental courses, and of course other medical courses.
Okay.
So therefore that power is already there. Even if you trace the power under the Government of India Act 1935, this was a provincial subject where it was with the state. Only when the even when the constitution was made, the constitutional makers made it very clear that this should be with the state, because state knows how to educate its own people, and it was there in the list 2 subject.
Okay.
Only when 1976 there was an amendment to the constitution, then it was shifted from list 2 to list 3. So as long as it was prior to 1976, it was in the state's domain, and the power of the state was there to bring in legislation. So therefore, Now, this under Article 254, the state has got a power to make laws and then send it for the assent of the president. And once the president gives his assent, then that law will have the force.
All
now,
right.
as you say that throughout India, in fact, I have been seeing this in the social media also.
Correct.
Everyone are in support of the laws which has been made by the Tamil Nadu government.
Absolutely.
So they don't want this. Why should you have another exam? I'm asking one question straight away. You have a qualifying exam in 12th standard. Why do you have another exam? Why you only when you pass in this this NEET exam do you mean to say they are qualified? Then what do you say for that 12th standard board examination?
Right.
Then
So
don't
at
conduct
least
board
the
examination.
DMK government in Tamil Nadu is...
You have a qualifying exam in 12th standard. Why do you have another exam? Why you only when you pass in this this NEET exam do you mean to say they are qualified? Then what do you say for that 12th standard board examination?
Right.
Then
So
don't
at
conduct board
least
examination.
the DMK government in Tamil Nadu is working towards ensuring that the burden of the students in our country somewhere can be brought down, can be negated. But are others also in acceptance and agreement with this decision? We will discuss that further. Thank you so much, Mr. P. Wilson, for joining us here on India Ahead. While I'll stay with my other guest, Advocate Anubha Srivastava Sahai. If I could come to you first. What do you think is leading us or the students to this situation? Is it only the pressure of the academic situation in our country? And do you feel that there could be some drastic change that could be brought into place if states actually adopt the new education policy?
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me in this show. And this is a very important issue and very important discussion which India Ahead is taking up today. Because students are committing suicide, not only NEET students, but even board students. I have seen 12th board students and other students also, they do commit suicide. But as far as NEET is concerned, I think there should be a law which should be like, state government should be given autonomy to choose. Like for engineering, we have JEE entrance exam is there, but at the state level also, like in Maharashtra, we have MHD CET, we have CET in Maharashtra for seeking admission in different colleges. So similarly, if for engineering and other courses we have a state level exam, then for medical also we should have state level exam, which used to happen earlier. But now after this NEET, most of the students from state board are suffering. Many students from CBSE board and ICSE board, they don't have any problem. But maximum student, like in Maharashtra, most of the students are from state board. 30 lakh students, 16 to 30 lakh students are from state board. And around 2 to 3 lakhs hardly are from CBSE and ICSE board. So that is the main gap, and that's why these students are also demanding that let there be a different entrance exam even for medical students, medical colleges like it used to have earlier. So why this government is having this NEET exam in pan-India level? We are seeing the scam which is happening. Just look at the Twitter, and so many students are tweeting that now there's a paper leak in all over India.
No, and Delhi. The problem is that as we on a daily basis are reporting a single death, even if it is a single death, it's a student taking their own life due to examination pressure. And do they actually deserve it? Do the students really deserve to be pressurized to that extent? And Dr. Geeta Bhatt, if I could bring you in also on this, the sort of pressure that as a society, we as a society start building on children while they are in elementary class. We keep telling them you have to do better, you have to do professional courses, engineering, IIT, IIM. So the dreams that we set on these children are so huge that they feel apologetic that they are unable to fulfill those dreams, and unfortunately they're taking their lives.
Yes, definitely. This is very unfortunate. Any student, any young, vibrant individual, giving up on their lives just because they have not been able to clear an exam is definitely very unfortunate. Where there are many factors which come into play. It could be, the peer pressure or family pressure, may not be to his or her liking, and or could be, lack of preparation. However, what is important is that we need to prepare our, our generations to come. That they need to be having the strength to face any kind of a failure in life. Because it is just an exam. There are so many things that we go across, in our lives. However, as far as the issue of discussion which is here, is something that what I would like to add here is that when we want to talk about a particular examination, all over India examination which is taking place, we need to judge it qualitatively, quantitatively, and try to constructively try to do a criticism which will able to benefit in improving upon how the exam is to be held. However, if politics gets entangled into an issue which is related to such an important examination, then there are various problems that have arisen that we can see over here.
All right.
First of all, this an all over India examination is something which was initiated in the year 2020. It was in 2010 that first this was decided by the government that instead of having every state having different type of examination, there should be a single examination which should take place, which eventually happened in 2012. Then of course there were people opposing it that time. There was a stay, so
Correct.
on and so forth, and later on NEET examination has been taking place.
All right.
Yes, I do agree that there could be, a number of chances which have to be given for a NEET exam. That would increase. But why is it that a state government is so keen on trying to dissociate from an examination which is being held all over India?
Okay,
Where
that's an
all
interesting
the
point.
states
Dr.
and
Geeta Bhatt, that's an
communities,
interesting
they are-
point. And
they are
okay.
engaged in holding this examination. They want to go ahead, and the reason for which they have brought this particular bill.
In fact,
stating
let's
that
get
this
in
is going
Sumansi
to,
Raman. Dr. Geeta
bring-
Bhatt, that's an
this is going
interesting
to-
point that you
this
have
is going to
raised. That's an
social
interesting
justice.
point you
This
have
is going
raised.
to cause
Let's
social
bring in Sumansi Raman also into this. Mr. Sumansi Raman, is it only politics or is it genuine concern for the children and students of our country?
At the start, there was genuine concern, and Tamil Nadu had a problem which many states faced, where the gap between the CBSE syllabus and the state board syllabus was huge. And so, since the NEET exams were being conducted based on the CBSE syllabus, students from the state were hugely handicapped. So many of us actually proposed to the then AIADMK government saying, please seek an exemption for a period of 3 to 5 years to bring the syllabus on par so that students can compete on an equal level. Unfortunately, that is where politics got in. The DMK said there is no question of NEET, it must be scrapped completely. And the AIADMK government, which was in power then they developed cold feet because they didn't want to be seen asking for an exemption for 3 or 5 years, which the government may have been willing to consider far because there was a genuine reason for it. Instead, they also said, no, they passed a law. That law never got, bill never got the presidential assent. What Mr. Wilson did not tell you, is that a bill was passed previously by the previous government in 2017. And it went as far as the president, and the president did not sign that. So there is nothing different in this attempt which the DMK government has made. But the DMK has sort of pushed itself into a corner. Look, a large proportion of the injustice, alleged injustice of NEET has been rectified in the state by providing 7.5% reservation to government school students in medical admissions. 430 odd students from government schools got admission in Tamil Nadu for MBBS over 10 years between 2006 and 2016 when there was no NEET, right? Last year alone, nearly 400 students have got admission from government schools. So I think you have to understand that a large proportion of the issues have been resolved. And I honestly do not see any rationale in going and saying that we will not take NEET, even if no other state in the country seems to have a problem with it. Yes.
So there are diverse opinions. Clearly, there are diverse opinions. Sumansi Raman, I agree. There are diverse.
One quick point.
Okay, sure.
The former Gujarat Chief Minister and present Prime Minister had written a letter opposing NEET when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat. So Gujarat was one of the very few states which opposed NEET. But that apart, no other state today has a problem with NEET.
All right. Professor Chandrabhushan Sharma, if I could bring you in, how do you see where is the revamped national education policy placed here? Do you think that is something that could be helpful because somewhere it focuses on taking away the burden from the students? Do you think getting that into place is going to be the best alternative right now?
Thank you very much. I can see politics prevailing upon education. Academics talking like politicians. We are looking for a black cat in a dark room which doesn't exist there. I don't think the problem is with NEET. I see that people are talking more of politics than of education. As an educationist, my point is clear. Keep politics and politicians out of education and you will not have problems. Why is it that every time Tamil Nadu has a problem? When the NEP came, Tamil Nadu had a problem, no other state. Because Tamil Nadu looks at education as a political game. I am not for one party or the other. I am for my students. Let me ask you a question, and this is a very, very pertinent question. Why are similar questions not being raised for higher education? Because you have regulatory, statutory bodies independent of the government. You don't have a single regulatory body for the school education. The central government as well as the state governments get into politics. The Chhattisgarh government gave question papers and answer papers to the students to take home and write their exams. CBSE exams were scrapped, and then you had a formula. This is all because of politics. My take on it is establish an independent, autonomous regulatory body, independent of the government, and you won't have these problems. I don't think our students are afraid of exams. We have very bright students, and the best must get into the best colleges. We are not permitting them to have to do this because government wants to tell the students, because they are voters of the next elections, that we are for you. We will help you get into colleges without writing exams, without making any efforts. Learning is directly proportional to effort made. And when politicians take decisions, we are in unfortunate situation. We keep watching that most undeserving get the best result. Let me tell you, ma'am, we must have a school education commission independent of the government, so that neither the central government nor the state governments take decision. Read Mudaliar Commission. You are talking of education being in the concurrent list. What did Mudaliar Commission say? This education is a concern of the nation and it cannot be concern of different states.
And I completely understand your sentiments, Professor Sharma, when you say that the politicization of our education sector should not happen, and at least the education sector should be apolitical, because it's the lives, it's the present, and it's the future of the students and the children of our country which is at stake. So clearly very diverse opinions coming out from today's panel. I would like to thank P. Wilson, Advocate Sahai, Sumansi Raman, Professor Sharma and Dr. Geeta Bhatt for joining us. But before we wrap up, let's take a look at what is happening as far as the protests against the revamped national education policy is concerned. Now, students took to the streets and protested in the city of Bengaluru.
Yesterday we went Mysore Circle. That time we are going our march. Suddenly 10 members bouncers came and they beated rudely, and they beated here, and even our girls they beated, and even they are beaten my private places.
ये एजुकेशन पॉलिसी अब जो जारी हुआ है, ना पार्लियामेंट में इसको चर्चा किया है ना विधानसभा में। हमारा डिमांड ये था, कम से कम पार्लियामेंट में तो तुमने चर्चा नहीं किया, लेकिन जब कर्नाटक की बात आएगी तो कर्नाटका में इसको चर्चा करना चाहिए। तो हमारा मार्च सीधा विधानसभा की तरफ था कि उधर के सीएम को, उधर के एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर को ये मालूम होना है कि हम लोग